Welcome to the Explainer. Have you ever watched a basketball arc perfectly through the air? Or looked at the elegant swooping cables of a suspension bridge and wondered if there's some kind of hidden code governing their shape? Well, there absolutely is. Today, we're exploring the fascinating world of quadratics. But listen, we aren't going to look at this as just a bunch of abstract algebra. Instead, we're going to treat quadratics as a super practical toolkit. Think of it as a geometric treasure map that actually gives us the power to decode, predict, and really understand the physical world around us. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our mental map for today. First, we'll meet the quadratic. Second, we're mastering vertex form. Third, the quadratic formula. Fourth, decoding the discriminant. And finally, optimization and exam tips. Section 1. Meet the quadratic. Form and function. So what are we actually dealing with here? At its core, a quadratic expression takes the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, the absolutely golden rule here is that the constant a cannot be 0. If it is, well, the x squared term just vanishes, leaving us with a boring, straight, linear line. The x squared is the magic ingredient. It's what builds that swooping U shape, the parabola, that we see in expressions like x squared plus 5x plus 6. Section 2. Mastering vertex form. The turning point. If a standard quadratic equation is like a raw, unfiltered map, vertex form is literally your ultimate cheat sheet for finding the key landmarks. When we arrange our math into this specific format, the turning point, the very tip of the parabola, which we call the vertex, is immediately visible as the coordinates h, k. We can also instantly spot the axis of symmetry. That's the exact middle line that folds our graph perfectly in half right at x equals h. And that value of a sitting at the very front, that tells us our terrain. If a is a positive number, meaning greater than 0, our parabola smiles upward, giving us a minimum valley. But if a is negative, it frowns downward, creating a maximum peak. So how do we actually get to that cheat sheet? We use a famous algorithm called completing the square. I know, it looks like a terrifying wall of algebra in most textbooks, but it's actually a beautiful, rhythmic 4-step dance. Ready? Step 1. Take half of the x coefficient. Step 2, square that number. Step 3, add it and immediately subtract it. That right there is the magic trick that keeps the equation perfectly balanced. Step 4, factor the result. Half it, square it, add and subtract it, factor it. Once you feel that rhythm, you realize it's just a predictable sequence of simple actions, not some impossible puzzle. Let's actually see that rhythm in action. We start with x squared plus 6x plus 5. Half of 6 is 3. Square it to get 9, we add and subtract that 9, and suddenly our expression smoothly transforms into x plus 3 all squared minus 4. Now, what's really interesting here is how effortlessly this reveals our map's hidden treasure. Just by looking at this new vertex form, we instantly know that the turning point of this specific parabola sits exactly at the coordinates -3, -4. There's no guessing, no plotting 100 random points. It's just pure geometric precision. And this rhythm actually builds into another incredible shortcut. Let's say you don't really need the entire vertex form. You just need to find the exact middle dividing line of your parabola, the axis of symmetry. You can bypass the factoring completely by using this neat little formula. X equals -b divided by 2a. Just pluck the b and a values right out of your standard equation, plug them in, and boom, you found the exact vertical line that splits your parabola perfectly in half. Moving on to section 3. The quadratic formula, the heavy-duty tool. Behold the quadratic formula. It is the absolute undisputed king of algebraic tools. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You'll definitely want to commit this one to memory. While some quadratics can be solved super easily by factoring, the real world is rarely that clean. When decimals start appearing out of nowhere or when factoring seems utterly impossible, this formula is your ultimate unfailing compass. It will always reliably point you directly to the roots. Let's track how gracefully this works in practice. Say we want to solve x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. First, we just identify our constants. A is 1, b is -5, and c is 6. We plug those into our mighty formula. The math starts to simplify, and inside our square root, we get 25 minus 24, which leaves us with a very friendly number 1. By following both the positive and negative paths of our plus or minus sign, the formula cleanly hands us our two root landmarks on the x-axis, x equals 2 and x equals 3. We have precisely pinpointed where our parabola touches the ground.
Section 4. Decoding the discriminant, predicting roots.
Now, what if I told you we have a mathematical root detector that literally lets us peek into the future of our graph? If you look closely at the quadratic formula, there is a very specific piece of machinery working inside it, b squared minus 4ac. This tiny expression living underneath the square root symbol is called the discriminant. Before you dive into any massive, complicated calculations, this small chunk of math holds the absolute secret to knowing exactly what kind of roots or x-intercepts we're dealing with. It literally discriminates between the different possible outcomes.
So, here is how we decode it. Take case 1, for example. If our discriminant calculates to a positive number, anything greater than 0, we can take the square root normally. This guarantees our parabola will cross the x-axis twice, giving us 2 distinct real roots. But look at case 3. If the discriminant calculates out to a negative number, well, you literally can't take the real square root of a negative number. The math effectively halts. And visually, that tells us this specific parabola floats entirely above or below the x-axis. It has absolutely 0 real roots. It never even touches the ground.
Finally, Section 5, Exam Tips. Real-world optimization. All right, we've mastered the tools. Now it's time for the boss level. Imagine a ball is thrown into the air. Its physical trajectory is perfectly modeled by the quadratic equation h equals negative x squared plus 6x plus 4. The question asks, what is the ball's maximum height? Now don't panic here, just translate the physics back into geometry. Maximum height is just a real-world term for the very top of our parabola's peak. So the crucial point is we really just need to find the vertex of this specific equation.
And here comes the mathematical punchline. Using our quick formula for the axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a, we find that our middle line is at x equals 3. We take that 3, substitute it right back into our original height equation, and it decisively spits out our answer, 13. At an x distance of 3, the ball hits its absolute maximum height of 13 units. It's literally geometry and physics working together in perfect predictable harmony.
And this brilliantly illustrates our final exam strategy. The real secret to mastering quadratics isn't just knowing the tools, it's knowing exactly when to pull which tool out of your kit. Use completing the square when you need to find the vertex, sketch the overall graph, or solve optimization problems for a max or min value, just like our flying ball. But when you're tasked with finding the exact roots and the factorization is turning into a total nightmare of decimals or tricky numbers, that is exactly when you deploy the quadratic formula. It's all about strategic efficiency, guys. To make sure you never get lost while navigating this geometric map, here's your ultimate survival guide checklist. 1. Always check the value of a, so you know if your parabola opens up or down. 2. Always locate your axis of symmetry and your turning point to anchor your sketch. 3. Use the discriminant early, like a quick radar sweep, so you know exactly how many roots to expect. And finally, always double-check your sign substitutions when using the quadratic formula. Just one dropped negative sign can throw you completely off the map.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground today, transitioning quadratics from intimidating algebra into a highly visual, logical map. But I want to leave you with a provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. We've seen how these formulas can perfectly predict the arc of a thrown ball, right? But consider this. From the orbits of planets swinging around distant stars, to the exact curve of a satellite dish capturing invisible signals, down to the optimal design of a car's headlights, quadratics are literally everywhere. How is it that these seemingly invisible, abstract mathematical rules manage to so perfectly govern the physical trajectories of everything in the universe around us? It really makes you realize that math isn't just something you suffer through on paper. It's the underlying code of reality itself. Thanks for joining me today, and keep exploring that code.